will be the DeFrancis Dash, $150,000. Jeff, this once in its heyday lured some of the top sprinters in the game, the Housebusters, the Cherokee Runs, Benny the Bull. The Maryland Jockey Club presents the DeFrancis Dash back in the summer calendar. And to me, this is where this race belongs on the calendar. It was always a great summer sprint race in the early days, but for about the last 20 years, it's been in the fall. Now they get it back into a July date, and I'm excited to see because we got a great field this year with Special Reserve, a headliner, making his first start of the year since running in the Breeders' Cup. You know, he's a top-class sprinter, and to get a horse like that in this race can help raise the profile again of the DeFrancis Dash.
I agree. This is where this race belongs. When you get a horse like Special Reserve, who was a top-class sprinter on his best day. Of course, he was a Grade 2 winner at Keeneland last fall. And then he was one of the ones that ran in the Breeders' Cup Sprint that kind of ran Jackie's Warrior into the ground that day. So,
right.
You know he can be pretty tough. Finished fourth, hung around a lot longer in that race than he had a right to. Got nailed in the final 50 by Aloha West, but he is good. Now, the question is how cranked up he is, how ready is it?
Right.
He's a 6-year-old gelding. We haven't seen him since last November. Mike Makers, very solid, not great record with comebackers, but I mean, he should be fit enough. I'm looking at the work tab at Churchill Downs Training Center. There's nothing flashy there. I don't know enough about this horse to know how much work he really does need. Now, in the past, he's run well fresh, so I think that maybe might be the thinking. And I do think Special Reserve is going to be hard to beat here. There's another horse that's going to be tough as well. 2-1 on the bottom horse. Wonder where Craig is. He's another horse off the bench. He hasn't been out since a failed excursion to Dubai when he was unplaced in the Golden Shaheen. But you look at some of his previous races, they're pretty darn good. And he loves Laurel. He's fast on figures. He's got 2 triple-digit buyer numbers and a 99 buyer number in his last 5 starts. So drawn outside where he is. Wonder where Craig is going to give Special Reserve all they can handle unless Special Reserve comes back as well as he left. And there's always a chance he might be a little short. But those are the two. This is a very salty race. I know it's an ungraded race, but this is a legitimate graded type of race for some very, very tough and durable sprinters.
Do you like that outside post position for sprinters? Like wonder where Craig is. You hear people talk about, post at particular distances and things like that. Outside sprinting, an advantage or a disadvantage?
I think it's an advantage, depending upon what your horse wants to do. I think wonder where Craig is the kind of horse, if you look at his form, he wants to be right in the front, but he can sit third or fourth if the situation requires. So the jock has the ability to look over and see how much pressure from the rail is. If nobody goes, he can go. But if he sees there are 2 or 3 in there that are just hell-bent on going to the front, he can kind of drop over, sit, stalk, and pounce. And that's what this horse's style is. Wonder where Craig is. He can go to the front, he can stalk, he can do whatever he wants, and it gives the jock the option to do that. He also gets to load last usually, so that means he's not sitting to the gate for a long time. I think most jockeys, and I've talked to a lot about, most of them say, I'd rather be out there. Now, there are certain situations, certain tracks, maybe that you'd want to be inside. If your horse has to go anyway, you might as well be inside. But most jocks will tell you they'd rather be outside.
Special Reserve, though, certainly going to be the favorite in here. He's a Grade 2 winner. He's Grade 1 placed. Let's go back to his Grade 2 victory last fall at Keeneland.
So Special Reserve now has taken a narrow lead, just might a second. Mucho tries to pick them up third, and behind horses trying to angle down toward the inside. Hasn't found the room yet. Now finds it. Has to find more, though, to catch Special Reserve. Late run Aloha West from fourth to third toward second on the outside. Special Reserve has the lead by 3. Aloha West is running on, but the 16th pole is here. The wire is coming. Special Reserve chased all the way down the stretch by Aloha West. Special Reserve, Aloha West. Special Reserve hangs on by a head over Aloha West to stake the stall. Keenan Ogden, Phoenix, 1 minute, 8.54 seconds.
Not only was that a Grade 2 win, it was a win over the eventual next start Breeders' Cup Sprint winner in Aloha West. Plenty of class there. It's the DeFrancis Dash back in July and part of a Pick 4 that has a $4,000 hit and split guarantee from Express Bet and First Bet. When you bet the Pick 4, with First Bet and Express Bet, the late Pick 4 Saturday at Laurel Park, you'll get your pari-mutuel winnings, and you'll also get $4,000 to split amongst the other players on those 2 platforms who hit the win in the late Pick 4. So check that out on Saturday, Laurel Park as it's the Summer Sizzlers, second of 3 stakes days at the Maryland Jockey Club for the month of July.